of growing, like a growing ground. And I think that's changing now. I feel like there's a lot more mentors out there, and there's a lot more places that you can fail, learn, grow, which is integral to being an artist, right?
Definitely.
So I think finding a place where you can do that kind of thing is the way to go, and to just keep going.
How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Rob Chen. Welcome back to Chinosity. It's been a long time, but we are here, and I'm so glad to restart this with an awesome guest. We have the one and only Diane from Unapologetically Asian, as well as CollaborAzian. What's good? How you doing today?
Hey, Rob. So good to be here.
How you feeling? How's today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited and pumped for what's been happening with our project, and also what's been going on in our community.
For sure. I love this because I originally met you last year at one of the protests, and we were involved together at, I believe it was like one of the Asians for Black Lives rally. It was either that one or it was for They Can't Burn Us All for the grandmother.
We met during They Can't Burn Us All.
Right. And that was how I originally met you. So I knew you as an activist as well. And then I later found out, oh, wow, you're also an actress, you're a producer, and you created Unapologetically Asian. Super dope. I love what you guys have been doing. How did you get involved with that specific group and project, CollaborAzian?
Well, our name came out of the need to create something specifically for paperwork, but it came about because we randomly got the rights to do this show, and we knew we wanted to do it as a fundraiser. We knew we wanted to do it as an all-Asian cast, and I knew very little about producing on a bigger scale this way. So I pulled in all of my friends that I respected their work and loved being in a room with them, and they all kind of agreed to become this collective, and hence CollaborAzian was born.
Hey.
And now we're making this thing happen together. We are performing this Tony Award-winning musical that's been we're trying to get the draw out to people so that they understand, like, oh, we didn't pick this like really under the rock musical, even though I love personally under the rock musicals. But, it's this like well-known piece that is known for their all white casts. It's set in London in 1907. So I think the original creative team had gone that direction, but they were so excited and generous to hear that we were doing this version where we wanted to showcase Asian talent doing something that you don't really see Asian faces doing, British farce. So, so we've been talking about it being part of the Tony Award-winning production, but this has been a big, it's kind of snowballed in terms of the support we've been getting from major platforms. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this yet, but we have come together with a really large streaming partner and another large media partner, in addition to the partnership we're doing with Chinosity. And we are so freaking grateful about the people in the community that have stepped up to us and to support this. So yeah, it's not the Tonys, but it's a big deal. This
is still an amazing big deal. I mean, because for anybody who is listening, who is not in the arts or in the professional acting business, it's not easy to get the rights for any type of play or musical, especially if it's like well-known and award-winning. It doesn't come easy.
Yeah, it was, it was kind of a fluke that I knew the writers.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Stephen Lupfik, the amazing Stephen Lupfik, 10 years ago. And I reached out to him saying, hey, you may not remember me. He's like, of course I remember you. We coached. And that we want to do this all-Asian benefit. And he immediately was just like, yes, I'm honored. He said, I'm honored that you wanted to do our production this way. And let me just check back with my team. And they've been so supportive. So not only has that team been supportive, but we've had members of like the design team who've reached out to us and said, hey, we'd love to offer you something as well. We got the backplates for free. They all donated those things to us to support this endeavor.
That is so cool. Wait, what?
I've been so touched, by our allies and everybody in the community stepping forward to make this happen.
it does take a whole village to make something happen, for sure. And that is something that I love seeing. Like, despite the pandemic being a very dark, intense time, I think there's a lot of positivity that came out of it too, with, as you mentioned, like different allies who stepped up, different people in the community who stepped up as well, different artists. Since you are, it's a whole musical piece, and you're involved with many Broadway actors and stars, some heavy hitters too. Do you feel that Broadway is doing a good enough job in terms of inclusivity? And I mean inclusivity and not diversity, because I think they're different.
I love that you're saying that, because I still have a lot of work more yet to do to understand what those two differences are. So I'd love to, at some point, hear more from you about that. In terms of what Broadway is doing, the group APAC has been amazing at actually compiling the numbers. The way Stop Asian Hate has been compiling numbers about hate crimes so that we can actually take them to legislators and say, hey, this is what's going on. You can say what you want, but these numbers don't lie. APAC has been doing work to show what kind of representation is actually happening on Broadway stages and regional and national tours. And, they recently just released their 2018 and 2019 report. And while the numbers went up, I want to say by point percentages, they're still abysmal.
Yeah.
They're still abysmal. Mm-hmm. So that's a reality. So it just makes me all the more passionate about getting up every day and making this piece of what we're trying to do as best as it can, so it gets out to as many people as possible. Because if people see us doing this, then they're going to say, hey, I can do that too. It's incumbent on all of us in the Asian and Asian American community to get that fire lit under us, to say, hey, I'm also going to put my voice out, or I'm going to create this thing and I'm going to kind of push for it, and you're right in saying it takes a village. I have literally reached out to hundreds of my friends to do pieces of this, and it's one of these things that we do in kind for each other, because we all want each other to succeed, right? We all want the community to have more visibility, to be seen as humans and equal, regular humans.
What a concept!
What a concept, right? So I'm really passionate about it, and so it gets me up in the morning and makes me want to do better than what those APAC reports show.
I love that, and that is why I always have a lot of respect for you too. I was going to say, what does representation mean to you? But now I want to switch it, and I want to say, what does visibility mean to you?
Okay, so visibility to me means putting Asian and Asian American faces, and also I'm passionate about all BIPOC faces. Put us on your poster in Times Square. Okay? Make us the leads. Don't make us the sidekick. Don't make us your nurse friend. Don't make us the sassy friend that's giving you quips. Let us be the love interest, right? Let us be the Terminator. Why did that just come to my head? But just something different than love interest. But let us be the leads of your stories, and not have it to be. I just saw a tweet recently, and I'm forgetting exactly who it is. Forgive me if someone's watching it and says, "Oh, that's my tweet." But they were like, "Oh, Matt, if you're ever in the lucky position to pitch a Filipino American show, you will know that you get hurt. You hear all the time, well, why do they have to be Filipino? Or why don't we make them the friend? Or why don't we recast it with this?" And you're like, wait, no, there's plenty, I'm speaking Filipino because I'm Filipino American, but this goes for everybody, right? So all BIPOC community members. But yeah, we want visibility means letting us be the lead of the stories, not just your background dancer, or your sassy friend, or those kinds of things.
100%. And I think part of that step is doing things like what you guys are doing right here with CollaborAzian. It's so awesome to see these things happen. Usually I see it with Shakespeare productions. Sometimes I might see a Shakespeare production where it's oh, we're going to do Hamlet with an all black cast, every once in a while, sometimes. I never hear with a whole Asian cast. Oh, actually, the last one I did hear was King Henry VI. That was with all Asian cast in New York, I believe.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes. Was it Natco that did that?
Yes, it was. It was Natco. Yeah.
I just got to shout out Natco so hard. I love them so much. I love the work that they're doing so much. I saw Awaken Sing, and it was revolutionary for me to see that.
Wow.
Mia Katigbak, I stand her so much. Also, while I'm here with that, I want to shout out the work that Biarcleys company is doing, NAP. They have been able to put together large-scale productions of all Asian casts. They recently did Cinderella, and Biarcley has just been an incredible mentor and light in our community. She's recently they made a LaDuca shoe for her recently. Well deserved.
Okay.
In addition to the Tony Award that she received for the work that she's been doing with representation and her company now.
Stay stunning. Stay stunned. Stay stunning. I love that. I also love the fact that you're just shouting out other people in our community too. It really shows that you're a team player. Definitely.
Oh, it's so important. You know, we all rise together, right?
For you, as an actor, right? Have you seen a lot of people that look like you growing up? And
okay,
how was that for you? I'm an actor too. I have my own thoughts about this, but I'm curious to hear yours.
Hear it. Well, okay. So growing up, I lived in Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan, as an expat because my parents are American and Filipina. But so I didn't see people who were mixed race like me. But then I came to live in Connecticut, where it's very, very white. And I didn't really see much growing up, but I did say Lea Salonga. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw Lea Salonga, and I saw Didi Lynn Magno in The Party. I saw Tia Carrera.
Nice.
Am I dating myself? But,
no.
you know, I saw all these amazing people who I don't know Tia Carrera, but Lea has since become an incredible supporter, friend, mentor who has lifted me up on occasions that I absolutely needed someone to do so. And she's been amazing. She's an amazing human being. And sometimes I'm like, wait, this is the person I listened to forever growing up. And I'm so grateful that we're in each other's lives this way. And Didi Lynn Magno is another incredible human being who has just led with grace and humility and beauty and just is a wonderful human being that was literally on my wall. I had a poster of these women. Joan Almadia was on my wall. Lea was, of course, is on my wall, and so is Didi.
I love that. It's I do feel that, like, you know, as kids grow up, we need to have some type of hero figure in our lives. And, you know, we of course, we could identify with a lot of different types of people, but I do think it's something very special and nuanced when it's somebody who looks like you or resembles you in the spirit, in the image, in whatever way. So that's very awesome that you're able to see that too.
Like, while we're here, let's break down some real talk. The Broadway has created artists in general. The idea of starving artists have pit us all against each other in certain ways, the way we know maybe white supremacy, not maybe, the way white supremacy has done for ourselves, it has pit BIPOC and those people who are vulnerable against each other, thinking that there's not enough out there. And I have been a victim of that, thinking I need to be pit against other people. Oh, it's like I'm in a competition or whatever. And once I realized that this is about a system that we need to all overcome together, it made it very clear for me, both in my activism and in my art, which to me I feel are like this. I think it's just changed everything for me, and it makes me feel, you know, it makes me feel more hopeful that it's not just me by myself feeling like a crappy person, feeling like I'm not, you know, like those are small feelings when you're isolated from your community, when you're thinking you have to, I have to be a zillion times better than these other people to even eat or get retirement, to get benefits, to get health care. It's horrible, the model that has been set up for us.
It is.
Right?
Yeah. So what kind of advice would you give to anybody who is thinking about starting it, but they haven't taken that step yet?
I think that making art is so wonderful and beautiful. And also, if they want to be an actor, the first thing that comes to my head is that impulse to want to be an actor and to share in creating something and in sharing a piece of your spirit. That's the thing to hold on to, because acting is not the only way you can do that. Right. And I say that only because I don't know if I'm being like a tita here, but acting, the truth of the matter is, acting is a hard profession, as you well know. Yep. If it's your calling, you will not be able to escape from it. But if you're an aspiring artist, that is something, and that's how I identify. Like, I'm not just, I do feel called to be an actor, and I feel called to be a producer and a director. I feel called to just find a way to give voice to the voiceless, make art. We're all going to have the different things in us that make us want to create something and do something. Mm-hmm. I say, create a community, reach out to your friends, listen to that impulse, go for it, because the world is better for the art you create. Mm-hmm. I could go into this whole tirade about okay, make sure you know how to deal with your finances and make sure you, take care of yourself in other ways, because that's a very real part of being an actor.
Mental health.
Exactly. But, that impulse to create, yes, 100%, go for that, and just find small communities where you can feel safe to grow your work, because as AAPI artists and actors, because of the lack of growing ground, and I think that's changing now. I feel like there's a lot more mentors out there, and there's a lot more places that you can fail, learn, grow, which is integral to being an artist, right?
Definitely.
So I think finding a place where you can do that kind of thing is the way to go, and to just keep going.